You see that guy over there? He's losing his mind.
Yep.
Because
you can't speak today.
Yeah.
That's normally my thing.
We lost about 10 hours worth of reels shooting this because we shoot an old-fashioned camera.
It's true. There's a guy cranking that baby back there.
That's the sound, not us masturbating under the table. But why do we sound like reels turning?
I don't know.
But anyway, this is Ahab. This is the Goon Tick. This episode is brought to you by football, a sport I will never care about.
Yep.
Not even if they fund us, which clearly they have not.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, this is actually a special moment. It's the day after Friday the 13th, which means it's not special at all.
Nope.
I'll tell you what is special, though. Netflix released...
yeah, special needs right now.
Netflix released a Friday the 13th treat in preparation for Halloween. I'm guessing this is why they're doing all these little horror releases.
I guess.
But anyway, it's a little movie called The Babysitter, and directed by McG. What do you think about that guy?
I mean, McG's a pretty cool guy. He's a pretty good director now. Kubrick? Nah, McG.
Yeah. Kubrick. McG over Kubrick any day.
Yep.
Yeah, suffice it to say, McG is not the most beloved guy in Hollywood, you know? I mean, he's not... I mean, the name's douchey.
He's the us of directors.
Yeah.
Freaking sucks at making vids.
He's not renowned for churning out good stuff, you know? Or... even palatable stuff. Yep. And he always kind of gets mounted with these, like the Terminator thing.
Yeah.
You know, like, nobody really was going to come out winning at the end of that one. But McG, that just sealed the deal for everyone. We don't like that movie.
It's true.
Even if they liked it secretly, they were like, we don't like it because McG.
I liked it.
The point is,
it's
McG was probably not a good sign. Yeah. But we did know one thing, or actually we knew a couple of things. One, this was a horror comedy.
Yeah.
Again, interesting. All right, this could go sour. This could go, great. And then two, we knew that the script itself had been one of those blacklist scripts, and that means Hollywood was always pursuing it to get made because they knew it was good, but it was always kind of like in this limbo, and then finally it gets picked up by McG, and he made it. So anyway, we sat down, we said, let's see what's up. Let's see if McG can deliver on the horror comedy.
Yep.
So did he or did he not, in your opinion?
I think he did. He's pretty good film.
Film? It is a good film.
It is pretty good film. Look, there's gonna be mistakes in this one. You just gotta forgive it, because if there's another take, I'm gonna kill you and me.
We're winging it. That's my winging it move. But anyway,
bad.
No, yeah, man. I think he actually pulled this off. I was really actually very pleased with the results of this movie.
Did you say it was a pretty good film?
It was an excellent film. It was a better film. Now, I will put this out there right now. It's not a film for everybody.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, if you like your horror movie serious, or even your horror comedy a bit more niche, a bit more cult-oriented, then this probably won't be your flavor. But, we have a pretty broad taste here. And this was good, man. It hit all the right notes for me from the get-go. But let's get to the nitty-gritty of it. The story, let's just get a little, for anybody that hasn't seen it, is real simple. It's a young boy, a nebbish, nerdy type, an outsider type, with a lot of anxiety issues that are very well established. He's still being babysat despite his age, and just turns out that his babysitter's a fucking satanic maniac. Yeah. Simple story. Hijinks ensue. The fun ensues, if you will, and let's talk about that.
I gotta say, though, before we continue, I'm really impressed that you finally got that one out.
Yes, it literally is our 1,000th shit. 1,000th take. But anyway,
so let's get into this.
Let's get into it. Yeah, I think we should talk about first the strongest thing in this movie, at least in my opinion. I don't know if you'll agree with me or not, and that's the characters and the actors portraying the characters.
Yeah.
Would you agree with that statement?
Yeah,
man. They found a hell of a cast. There's really no big names in this. In fact, I mean, I can't really remember any big names.
The dad is that guy from that show.
Yeah, it's a lot of like people that you're like, oh yeah, I seen that guy in that movie somewhere.
I think he was in Sunny.
The biggest name, I guess, in this is Bella Thorne, who was kind of renowned in the more teenage melodrama circles. And I actually thought she was the weakest thing in the thing, the cheerleader. But yeah, everybody was fantastic, man. Everybody did a really good job of I mean, it never felt hammy, despite it being a comedy.
Yeah.
It felt they took the role seriously, and so the comedy worked a lot better because of it. You know, but I got to give a special shout out to those kids who, man, thankfully were not annoying because this is centered around one kid, and he was excellent. And then, of course, his love interest, was also excellent. And then there was some bully kids and stuff. They were all across the board top-notch kids, which is good to see, because if there's one thing that'll ruin a horror movie quick,
some shitty ass kid
is a shitty actor kid, man. So we got spared that.
Yeah.
And the girl who plays the babysitter, B, I don't know her real name, who just kind of
looks like
Margot Robbie. Yes.
No, I was gonna say a young, more soft-featured Heather Graham.
Yeah, I could see that too. She struck me as a Margot Robbie type more, but yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
Either way. She was fantastic. She was fantastic, and yeah, definitely smashed that. But she was great, man. She really pinned that role.
Yeah.
On both sides of the coin, you know, because she portrays it, you know, again with kind of like a duplicitous fashion, But anyway, yeah, she was fantastic across the board. The actors portrayed their characters fantastically. The comedy benefited from their portrayals. And but let's talk about the characters. Anybody you didn't like?
No, I think I liked everybody. I mean, I'm not gonna suck the mom and dad's dick here because they were only in there for a second.
Yeah.
But they were fine. No one was really that bad.
Yeah. Yeah, I liked everybody. Like I said previously, Belle Thorne was probably the weakest one, but that's the weakest in the strong cast.
Fine, yeah.
And really, I think I was just predisposed to dislike her because I don't really like Belle Thorne.
Ooh, shots fired.
On top of that, you know, the vapid teenage cheerleader archetype that she plays always annoys me in horror movies. But that's actually kind of like a compliment because she played that archetype quite well. So, you know.
Yeah, it actually kind of worked.
Yeah, so everybody, as aforementioned, excellence across the board. And that's a thumbs up. But anyway, let's talk about I will say this before we get into the other, factors in the movie. This is a movie where nothing was wasted. Every plot point that was laid out had a purpose and tied up tidily by the end. Mm-hmm. You know, there was nothing that was put on screen for no reason. It either built up a plot point, built up character, or contributed to the entire picture by the resolution of the picture, and that's really pleasant to see because, I mean, it's rare to see something that's so tightly knit together in terms of its script, and it's especially neat because this is a comedy where usually people relax, when they're writing it, like we could get away with this silly crap anyway, but here, silly crap or not, everything functioned for a purpose. And ultimately the story is kind of like a coming-of-age story, in a sense. A very fun one, mind you. This is no serious Stand By Me type of stuff, but, it's a coming-of-age story. It's about a kid who conquers his fears and his anxieties, and the horror action that happens throughout ultimately ties all these loose ends that he has in his own personality, So that was really neat to see. It was really, really cool. That was one of my favorite things in the movie. How well they tied all these elements together. So no character felt like a waste of space because they all contributed something to this. But anyway, let's get on with it. Let's talk about the effects. There are plenty of effects in this movie because once, it's revealed that this babysitter is not the nicest person, the blood pumps in, kind of like Evil Dead style. It's pumping in left and right, but it's not grotesquely overused. It's not even grotesquely overused for comic effect. It is at times, obviously, but it's not like, there's just blood everywhere now. No, I mean, it's used sparingly, and yet it's very present. I don't know how to explain that. It's not so constant that it numbs you. I guess is the way to do it. But anyway, what'd you think about?
There's only like a couple people in the movie that die, so
yeah.
But when they do die,
it's a gusher. Yeah, man. Any complaints about the effects? Or
not really. It was pretty good. I mean, they're over the top.
Yeah.
But they fit the film, I thought. As far as effects go, it was pretty good.
Yeah, man. Really solid effects. A lot of physical stuff. So if you're a horror fan that still likes physical effects, as we do, we prefer them over CGI any day. there's a lot of them here, and then they use them well. And obviously you can't
blow up a head.
Blow up a head for real, and if you do the effect, it's gonna take a lot of time and money.
Or look
little things like that where CG is excused, they use it, and it looks pretty damn good. I mean, obviously you're like that, but again, the tone of the movie fits the outlandishness of the effects. Sometimes
don't expect like realistic effects here. They're like almost bordering on cartoony, but they fit.
Yeah, they fit the tone of the movie for sure. So all in all, that's a fucking win, Let's talk about the score in this movie. It is, what'd you think? Good, bad, weird, out of place?
It was all right. Let's not spend too much time on the score, though, because this is where we died last time.
Yeah, the score starts off as a very bass-heavy, kind of trip-hoppy, kind of fucking modern sound at the beginning. But again, it fits what's going on the screen. It's not immediately a horror movie. It's laying this character groundwork and the goofy natures of some of the characters, especially your lead character and, the bullies that bully him. And the babysitter, and their actions fit. I'm sorry, the score fits their actions. So it works. Now, if you're into a dead serious horror score, well, then maybe that's not your cup of tea. But if you actually see what's going on the screen, I mean, come on. It fits. It fits the style, the narrative, and the tone. And then when the horror stuff starts happening, there's a distinct change in the score. It becomes a lot darker, a lot more menacing. And I could actually see that score fitting into, a normal, dead serious horror movie. It was actually pretty good. So overall, no complaints about the score. There are some soundtrack selections that actually fit very well with what's going on or elevate the comedy. Very cool. Overall, a winner. Overall, definitely not the Rage Carrie 2 score here. This is a winner. But anyway, let's talk about the visual aesthetics of the movie, the cinematography, the lighting, all that stuff. This, I think, was another winner on the level with the characters and the actors portraying them. It was a really energetic, really creative approach to what was going on.
This is where it may lose some people, though.
It may. Some people may think, it's just trying to cash in on maybe like a Scott Pilgrim feel.
I definitely saw a couple people complaining about it and having too many McGee-isms, and I just think that's people being dumb.
That's stupid because McGee, I mean, the closest we get to this in his filmography is maybe like Charlie's Angels.
Yeah.
But that was just kind of like MTV editing in that one. There was nothing like this movie in that. It's a very energetic style. He took some very creative approaches to things. A lot of tips of the hat to horror. A lot of tips of the hat to Sam Raimi. Yes, Edgar Wright in Scott Pilgrim especially. There was definite odes to previous directors there, and they're used effectively. And what was best about them is they used to elevate or promote the comedy of the scene and or what the character is doing / thinking, or the overall effect of the movie is just benefited by these edits. Now,
I liked the edit. I do want to say I did like the edits and all that like stylistic stuff in the movie quite a bit. But if like say you didn't like the Scott Pilgrim stuff or like Suicide Squad, all that stuff they did, you probably won't like it in this movie. So that's where it may lose some people, but hopefully it doesn't, because I actually really liked it.
Hopefully
and it added something. Yeah, it added something to the movie that's kind of unique. It's not unique, really. It's been done before, but it is unique to horror, I think.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right about that. We haven't seen something like this in horror, at least this kind of like mishmash of it in horror so much. And again, you keep in mind this is a horror comedy. It really contributes to that aspect of it.
It's kind of used almost as a way to speed up some stuff at times and stuff like that. So I was perfectly fine with it, but I know some people are going to probably dislike that, especially if you like your horror movies
dead serious.
Or like slower pace or whatever,
speaking of the pace, this movie is a quick one, 85 minutes, lean and mean, but they really, like I said previously, nothing goes to waste. Everything is used exquisitely well. And again, movies are a group effort, and you could tell these people either cared a lot about this or, man, there was just some fluke where everything just went right, because they set out to do something and it worked. Now, whether the audience accepts that or not, who knows? That's up to you. but it worked on screen. You know, their goal was met there, I think. But anyway, let's give some final thoughts on this overall.
Me?
Yeah, that yeah.
Not for everyone. Definitely not for everyone. But if you like horror, even then, if you like horror but are not gonna be crying about something that's more fast paced and more stylistic, you'll probably like it. The humor I don't think is for everyone, but I really liked it. Pretty good. Winner. Or was it nugget? Nugget.
It's a gold nugget. It's a gold nugget for me too. The character work on this is fantastic. I thought the comedy was on point. Yes, again, the comedy is not for everyone, but if you realize what it is, you know, this is a dissection of the horror teen or the just teen drama type of movie, and they use those tropes and archetypes to their benefit. Plus, I think the story of this kid is kind of sweet. You know, there was even some sweet moments with the babysitter at the end, which I thought was, oh, that's nice, you know. And I like how they play with our expectations as a horror crowd. For a guy that's never made a horror movie, he really, I mean, really you could contribute, you could tip the hat really towards the writer, but of course, you know, you have to know that the director would also have to be aware of all these things. So McGee, shit, man, you actually made a good horror movie. Yeah, definite gold nugget for me. Those actors were great. They left us, there is a mid-credit sequence which suggests, you know, there's more to come. And honestly, shit, if it's something like this, bring it on. I want more. So anyway, this is a certified gold nugget from us. What did you think about The Babysitter? If you've seen it, and if you haven't seen it, go check it out. If you like horror, go check it out. Maybe you'll like it, fellas.
Yeah. I haven't, other than that shitty horror group that I'm in, I haven't really seen any other people's reactions. So you're getting the honest reaction from us. We endorse it. If you want to pay us Netflix, that'd be nice.
That would be super. It beats this football thing, which is not paying off.
Literally found it in the trash.
But anyway, Zahab and the Goon Tick. Tell us what you thought about it. Like, share, and subscribe. And we're out.